That's right, and one of the big reasons the city said it had such a hard time maintaining the flood channels before the big flood is because of all the red tape, all of the environmental hoops they had to go through. So these new laws are supposed to get rid of a lot of that red tape and allow the city to do its job faster.
What we've been able to do with these two pieces of legislation is we've made sure that as the city goes forward and they want to do the work of cleaning out these channels, that government doesn't get in the way. That we have the streamlining process so that we reduce years worth of permitting and waiting and going back and forth to now hopefully months at maximum so that the work can get started as soon as possible.
And Assemblymember David Alvarez authored the two bills, AB 3227 and AB 2501, just signed by the governor. And he says the city shouldn't run into as many roadblocks as it did before in just trying to get the trash and debris cleared. Now, since the January storm, the city says 18 miles of channels have been cleaned up. Much of that was in the southeast San Diego area. They did more work a few months ago, and spot cleanups are happening, as we saw today at the Hamishaw channels. The city says it also added another clearing team, so there are now more boots on the ground. Meanwhile, we know there are many families who lost everything, who are still trying to get back on their feet, who still blame the city for the flooding in the first place. I ran into Clarissa Marina, who works for the Harvey Family Foundation, one of the organizations that's been helping flood victims. She was out with another nonprofit, the Urban Corps, today, trying to help families return to their homes.
This has all been red tape, right? It's been nothing but 10 months of red tape and barriers. We're here still trying to figure out how to get these houses done. We've faced nothing but red tape and barriers. Any step in the right direction is a good step. It's still leaving a bad taste in folks' mouth when everyone seems to be operating in silos. Everyone seems to be reactionary.
And here in Mountain View, you can see this storm channel behind 42nd Street looks pretty clear right now. But as you heard from her, there is still a lot of frustration. Urban Corps told me today that some of the flood victims, some of them ended up homeless. Some are staying with family members. Those who were lucky enough to get FEMA assistance, it was a drop in the bucket, supposedly, compared to what the total cost is to fix up their homes. So they say there's still a lot of frustration out here and still a lot of people who are having a tough time. Heather and Carlo.
And Kelly, they've been through so much. We know that, and we know many have actually filed lawsuits against the city because of what happened to them back in January. Do we have any new information on what's going on with those lawsuits?
Yeah, I spoke to the attorney representing more than 500 flood victims. I spoke to him today. He told me that they are adding other defendants to their lawsuit, including the county of San Diego as well as Sandag. They do have a court appearance scheduled for Friday, but as you know, these court cases could end up tied up in the system for a very long time.
All right, Kelly Hasseldahl reporting live. Kelly, thanks.